Alright, so Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, was written as a self-help book. It was aimed toward business people. It was inspired by Andrew Carnegie, who you might have heard of in history class. He expanded the steel industry, and in the late 19th century, he was known as one of the richest Americans. Now, before I get too much into the book, I'd like to touch on Napoleon, tell you more about the author. Alright, so Napoleon was born in a one-room cabin in Virginia. His mother died when he was 9, and he was a businessman and a journalist. So some people might look at this book, read it, and say this is a get-rich-quick book, and it'll never work. And I think those are the people that were brought up with the work and you won't starve mentality. And this book simply isn't about that. You have to have motivation. The book can't teach that, but it goes into detail to discuss the 13 steps of Hill's success. Now, although there's 13 steps to Hill's method, it basically breaks down to 3 different things. The first one being the power of thought. So the power of thought is basically the idea of we are what we think. Our thoughts affect how we see the world and how we see ourselves. As a result, our thoughts have a great deal of impact on how we feel and how much energy we need to deal with a certain situation. Hill goes as far as stating that this extends to the material world as well. The second of these 3 would be the power of the subconscious. So Hill believes when you take time to rest, play, and engage in conversation with others, this subconscious mind is now given a chance to work and given a chance to develop ideas. And so the third thing that Hill wants us to recognize is the power of purpose. He believes that everybody deep down inside has a want and need to accomplish something over the long term. So he wants us to use our purpose as a guide to end up with a fulfilling life. One of my favorite quotes within the book that I think sums it up pretty good would be, "Wishing does not bring riches, but desiring riches with a state of mind that becomes an obsession. Then planning definite ways and means to acquire the riches, and backing those plans with persistence which does not recognize failure will bring riches." I think that quote does a good job at summarizing what this book is about and how it's about the philosophy of the human mind and not so much a get-rich-quick. It's more of a disciplined, long, thought-out process. So when it comes down to it, I'm a really big fan of this book. Now, once doesn't mention anything about stocks, wealth, anything along those lines. It's just purely a book about self-help, and it talks a lot about confidence and the key to keeping your eye on your prize or whatever you're looking for. Depending on where you are in your life, this book can be very helpful to anybody reading it.